sports all plays. Yeah. All sports all plays. All sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Thursday, February 29th, 2024. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Pretty good. Not too bad.
I had an okay night. Still didn't have a good night. Well, no, I didn't have a real good night last night.
Well, make up your mind. I went 4-3.
4-3?
Yep.
I went 3-5. Went 1-3 in the NBA. Had the Pacers right at the -6.5. Also took the over the 237.5 in that game, man. They missed it by a half point. It was at 237. Then I had the Bulls lost to the Cavs, and the Clippers controlled the whole damn game until toward the end of the second half. And they let LeBron go off, and the Lakers came back and won that game.
I had the Cavs, but they didn't cover the point spread. Yeah. You had Chicago?
No, I had the Cavs, but they didn't cover. Yeah, I had the Cavs, but they didn't cover the spread. Hey, how's it going, Billy? What's up, Glenn?
How's it going, guys?
I'm going to try to have a better day, Billy. Last week or so has not been real good. When it comes to picks, anyways. Then in college basketball, I went 2-1 in college basketball and 0-1 in hockey. I went with the underdog Blues, and they lost by 1.
Yep. They were ahead going to the third period.
Yeah, I knew I'd seen they had quite a bit of that game, but then couldn't hold on. I'll get today's stuff pulled up.
Remember, right? The Reds play, I think, the Dodgers.
Oh, do they?
Tonight. It's not a night game, I believe. Remember, right? I know Vegas plays tonight, I believe. I think Vegas plays Boston tonight. I'm thinking about watching some of that.
Yeah, Vegas plays Boston. I feel like when baseball's out of spring training, it's the real games.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for the season. I've been watching a little bit of spring training.
You see this? They haven't
every day.
Have you seen this stupid shit? I'm glad that came up because I was listening to it this morning. They ain't even started the damn 12 season playoff yet, and they're already talking about extending it to 14 and making it where, like, three teams from the Big Ten would automatically be in. Like, three teams from the SEC would automatically be in.
Bullshit.
and like 2 teams from other conferences, and there would be 3 at-large bids, and it'd be 14.
Why do we have to have so many guaranteed
Yeah,
from a league?
it's-
What if the league's down that year? That's bullshit.
Just rank the teams and whoever you have in the top 12 or whatever. Yeah, I heard that this morning. So yeah, they haven't even started the new playoff system, and they're already talking about changing it.
And they wanted to favor the big conferences as usual.
It's all about money, but it's stupid. If you're going to do a playoff, rank the teams, and it don't matter what conference they're in.
Yep, shouldn't matter.
Which I think the 12 team, when they're doing like, I do think like one team from the Power 5 conferences, and then the rest of them are at large or something. I don't even think the conferences should matter. If you want to do it like that, that's okay. But I don't like we're going to go 14 and 3 teams are going to be from this conference, 3 teams from this conference. What if them conferences are down that year?
I agree. And I think some of these conferences, like the Big Ten, because they're getting so many teams in it, they think that they're going to beat up on each other. But hey,
and don't get me wrong, out of the top 12 teams, I mean, if you go top 12, I think a lot of them are going to be from. You're going to have probably 2 or 3 from the SEC and 2 or 3 from the Big Ten
so.
most years, probably, because I mean they are the big two power conferences now. But I don't like it.
You get to your first change and see how it goes first before you go already talk another change. And to me, why go 14 teams if you're going to move? And I don't think you should be moving anything. Go to 12 teams, see how it goes for a couple years. But if you're going to move, go to 16 teams. Why 14?
Personally, I think they should have started out with 8, seen how that went, and then go maybe 12. I think you get to 16, you're getting.
I wouldn't have had a problem with 6.
I think you're getting too many with 16.
I wouldn't even had a problem with 6 starting off.
Yeah, 6 would have been
One and two
okay,
got buys.
I mean, yeah, I'd been all right too,
but yeah, 8. I think 8 would have been perfect to start off.
You get something approved, and you've been hyping it up, and then before it even starts, you're already talking about you want to scrap that and go to something else. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, and it's not kind of sports related, but it's WWE related. People are making a huge thing about these. I don't know what these people expect about these pillars and blocking seating. Well, they did this last pay-per-view. They didn't put seating. They didn't put any seating up where there would be the pillars. And people was complaining about that. And you have all this extra space because of these damn pillars. They got to have those pillars in outdoor stadiums that have nothing to hang anything onto.
Yeah.
So what's the issue? It's nothing.
Basically goes back to what Glenn said about the college football. Some of these people, it's never enough. They're always going to find something to complain about.
Something to bitch about. Yeah, it's new.
I mean, you have to have somewhere to rig their lighting and stuff up. I mean,
yeah.
And they try, and I mean, if they instead of selling tickets where your views obstructed, which a lot of sporting events do. They tried not to do that, and then people still bitch. So I don't think it's that big a deal. I mean, it's part of the setup. And yeah, you had a little bit of open space there, but would you rather have that open space, or would you rather buy a ticket and then you're sitting you're right behind that?
Well, in a stadium, you got to have big screens because people are sitting so far away. You got to have big screens, so you got to have a way to set the big screens up because it's I don't know.
Hey, now, Glenn, I was going to be a powerhouse this year with this new coach.
With this new coach, how many teams are in the Big Ten this year? All of them in this year, or is it another year?
I think all of them are in this
okay, so what? 14, 16 teams? I don't know.
18.
18. Let's go to Big 20.
They were already at 14, and then they added 4 more.
Realistically, what would be a good finish for IU this year? 8.
Good,
If they made top 8, would that be considered strong?
they made.
I think that would be considered really strong.
Oh, for them, yeah.
I mean, for a brand new coach coming in,
I'll be happy if they wouldn't. If they were,
what last?
if they were 15 or better. I remember, and we've been bad for a while. I mean, around COVID, we had a good season.
A lot of people are high on this coach, though.
No, yeah, I think he'll do a good job. I don't know how quick he'll be able to turn it around and how much, just because. I mean, you got to change the culture at IU and figure out how to turn it into a football school and get recruits, and how much money.
Are they going to give him enough time to do it?
How much? And how much money is IU going to spend on NIL and stuff like that to be able to get players?
Even if they spend some money, and they're not going to spend as much as some schools, but they spend some money. I would think that coach needs at least a minimum, honestly, to turn things around 4 or 5 years. What do you think?
At least, I mean, you at least have to give him 3 or 4 years.
When you consider how bad and then how strong the conference is going to be now, if we hadn't added all these teams, I would have given maybe 2 or 3 years. But with all these teams they've added, I think you have to give them more time.
It's going to be interesting. I think I think he'll do a good job. I think we'll get better. I don't know if we'll be able to compete at the top with those teams, just because we're not going to spend that kind of money in the NIL and getting those kind of recruits. I do think we'll get better, and I think he'll get us where maybe we're not maybe toward the top half of the Big Ten, and then if you get there and can stay there in that top half for a couple of years, then you might have a better chance of getting.
The problem is, if he gets to the top half for a couple of years, he's going to be gone. Somebody's going to snap him up. That's the problem. But I would think if he can make a bowl game in his first 3 years, that'd be considered.
He's been. I mean, he's won everywhere he's been. I'll be glad when the NFL draft happens.
Yeah. Do you agree with that the Bears GM should be fired if he passes on Caleb?
I don't think he should be. I don't think he should be fired because if he decided to do that. Now, if he decided to do that and this season don't go, the season Fields doesn't play well and the Bears don't do what they think they could, then there's a good possibility he'll get fired. But just for making that decision, like I would, you got to see what the results of the decision are. There's no guarantee. I know everybody's saying Caleb Williams best prospect. They want to compare him to Mahomes. But how many times have we heard how great a quarterback is, and they get in the NFL and they haven't panned out? Yep. Trevor Lawrence was the best prospect we ever seen. National high school player, best prospect we've seen since Andrew Luck. And not that he's had a bad career in the NFL, but he hasn't been even close to the best to the best quarterback in the NFL. If you look at his numbers in Jacksonville, they've been up and down. I mean, you've had a lot. Baker Mayfield was the number one overall draft pick, and I'm a Baker fan, but Baker isn't. If you look at his career, he hasn't lived up to being a number one overall pick. No. I mean, there's no exact science to it. It's about fit. Personally, I think the Bears GM, I think they're going to trade Fields and they're going to draft Williams. But I think the main reason is that because you passed up on a number one pick last year. It's hard to do it 2 years in a row. And if you do it again this year and it doesn't work out, you're gone.
Yeah, even if he kind of believes in Williams, I think and some people are going to say, well, no, his job is to worry about the team. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm sure he's worried about trying to get that team to the next level. I understand that. But also, I don't care, as any person at any job, some of himself, he's worried about himself too. And if he keeps Fields and it doesn't pan out next year or this year, if it don't pan out this year with Fields, he's gone.
Well, the thing is, if he keeps Fields and they start out 0-4, 0-5,
he may be fired this year.
Him and the coach might be gone during the season.
But if he takes
Williams and they start out 0-4, 0-5, nobody's going to bat an eye.
He may get 2 years where he buys himself more time with Williams. And people are going to say, well, you don't look at it that way. Well, yeah, you do.
To me, I think with the Bears, the way their team is, they have more holes than just the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Personally, I think you stay with Fields, trade that number 1 pick, get more picks because you probably have 7 or 8 holes on that team. You with the picks that you got last year from trading the number 1, you traded again this year, get those picks. You could get 8 to 10 players that could help your team and help fill them holes. And if you think that Fields has shown progression and can take another step this year, I think that gets you closer to being a formidable team now.
Yeah.
Where with Williams, it could take another year or 2. Now, Williams could come in and look like C.J. Stroud did last year, and
not very many quarterbacks have ever come in and look like C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a possibility, but I'm not sold on Caleb Williams as being that he's going to be great in the NFL.
I mean, he could come in and look like, and I'm not saying it's all his fault, but he could come in and look like the quarterback from Carolina. Yeah, and I'm not saying it's all his fault. It's not all his fault.
I'm not sold on Williams. I saw there was too many times last year where I watched him and he looked like when the pressure got to him, he got shook. That Notre Dame game, Notre Dame had him mentally broke that whole game.
Yeah, see, it's night and day because last year I was completely sold on him. His junior year, I thought he was fantastic, man. I thought he was the man. And then this year he started talking shit, and he got rattled. That, like you said, that Notre Dame game. It was completely different. So I'm not sold on him after this year.
And in his defense, a little bit too, he didn't have the talent surrounding him on that team as some of the other teams either. He had a pretty good wide receiver, but he didn't have the offensive line. Some of them teams he didn't have the receive. I mean, if you compare his receiving weapons to like what Penix was throwing to, I mean, it's not close. So I understand you got to see what kind of weapons you have as well. But yeah, Glenn, Pacers in 5th. Pacers been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
Other than that, they lost that game the other night. They should have won, but they got it.
Yeah, but
I keep tightening that defense up.
They play some freaking defense. Jesus.
Yeah,
it gets so aggravating.
Nobody in the NBA plays much defense.
But they'll start in the playoffs or some to a certain degree. Are they going to be able to play in the playoffs? Can they step up and play some defense? Or make some big defensive plays at critical times, at least.
Well, and that's one thing they have against the good teams. They have done this year is in the fourth quarter. They've played pretty good defense against the good teams. Our problem, the Pacers' problem is they play good against the better teams and teams you think they should beat. They struggle with.
It has been.
If it wasn't for that, they'd be probably in 2nd or 3rd right now.
Yeah, could be.
NBA tonight, I ended up going with 3 games. I went 3-5 yesterday. That puts me at 145 and 147 on the year. First time under 500. I'm gonna go with the Bucks at the -11.5 on the road at the Charlotte Hornets. I know the Bucks have been a little up and down, especially on defense, but the Hornets are just a bad basketball team. I think the Bucks roll tonight. Then I'm gonna go with the Golden State Warriors at the -4.5 on the road at the New York Knicks. Warriors have been playing good basketball. A lot has changed for the Warriors since they decided to move Thompson off the bench.
Yeah,
start bringing him in off the bench, and that team has really started to turn around. And if they end up getting Chris Paul back, they're a team that can surprise some people here toward the end of the season.
Oh, I agree with.
And then my last game for 9, I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets at the -5.5 at home against the Miami Heat. So I'm going with 3 games in the NBA tonight. The Bucks at the -11.5, Warriors -4.5, and the Nuggets at the -5.5.
I didn't do any NBA again. I didn't like any of the games. I didn't like anything, so I didn't do any NBA. I did 4 college and 4 NHL though.
All right, I only done 2 college. I went with Washington State at the -7.5 at home against USC. USC's not a very good basketball team, uh, so I like Washington State. And then I'm gonna take Gonzaga at the -3.5 against San Francisco. I think that's going to be a good game, but I think Gonzaga wins by 6 or 7.
Okay. Ain't the USC where Bronny at?
Yeah,
That's what I thought. Um,
that's the other thing. A lot of people have been talking about how he's only averaging like 5 points on a bad team. I didn't expect him to. I didn't expect him to have a great year this year. I mean, he's coming back from almost dying.
Yeah.
In the off season, and I understand they say he's healthy and he's allowed to play again. Still, you gotta get physical. You gotta get back where you're believing in yourself physically,
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah.
Mentally, you gotta get back mentally. So my thing is, everybody keeps saying he's going he's not going to be a first round draft pick. After that happened, I kind of figured that he probably wouldn't come out this year and that he'd probably play one more year of college basketball. I know a lot of people don't think he will because LeBron's wanting to play with them, and that might make it. But I think the best thing for him
I don't think he's ready
is to play another year. Now, if this stuff wouldn't happen over the offseason, he might be in a totally different spot this year than he was last year. He might be playing better right now. You know what I mean? He might be getting more playing time, might be averaging more points. I mean, we don't know, but I mean, when something like that happens, you know it's in the back of his head every time he steps out there, at least for a while. Like, am I going to be okay? Is something going to happen again? So,
hey, you don't know how people are made up. He may never get over it. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you just don't know. But everybody's made different. My college basketball picks for tonight, I have Albany -2 on the road at New Hampshire. I've got Merrimack -3 on the road at Farley Dickinson. I got Monmouth -6 at on the road at Hampton, and then I have College of Charlestown at home -16 against Campbell. That's my college picks for tonight.
all right, hockey tonight. I'm gonna go with the Boston Bruins at home against the Golden Knights.
Oh man,
that's the only time I can get their games right is if I pick against them. Take the Red Wings money line against the Islanders, Lightning money line against the Sabres, and the Canucks on the money line against the Kings.
Holy hell! Okay, on NHL picks for tonight, I have Toronto at home money line against Arizona. I have Tampa Bay at home money line against Buffalo. I have the Islanders money line on the road at Detroit, going the opposite of you, and then I got Anaheim at San Jose. I'll take San Jose at home money line. And that's my NHL picks for tonight. Glenn brings up Ballard and shopping at Dollar Tree. Glenn and Chris, what do you think? We're gonna get our receiver signed?
I think they're going to. It wouldn't surprise me if they don't maybe franchise them, franchise Pittman, and then go from there on. But yeah, I think they're going. I think they're going to keep Pittman. I think it'd be a mistake not to. I mean, he had one of his best years. He had one of his best seasons this season. And I think Downs is going to be a good weapon on the other side from him. If you can get another guy and then find a tight end that can start producing some, they could.
Hey, Mr. Bell, hope you're doing well.
I mean, now that they got you re-signed Taylor, and you think you're pretty sure, or you hope you got your quarterback. You got to get Pittman.
Yeah, I agree. And I honestly
got to keep it. Well, you got your number one receiver, and then get I think Downs is going to be a good receiver, and then see what you can find. Now, I would love to see him figure out a way to move up and get Marvin Harrison.
I want Harrison. If he can't move up to get Harrison, move up. Wouldn't be quite as far move up to get the receiver from Washington. Duche or whatever his name is. Adunze. I love him too. I prefer Harrison, but I don't think he's a big drop off from Harrison. So I'd love to see them get him, and they need to find a tight end. I think they need to go free agency for a tight end.
Well, I know they're big on that Ogletree, but he ain't been able to stay healthy.
No.
I don't know. You hear a lot about guys they've had, but they ain't been able to stay
It's
healthy.
been 2 years and nobody's stepped up. Nobody stepped up. So.
Sometimes it's like they don't use them. I think it might change with this coach, but especially with Reich, it was like we didn't use our tight ends.
Yep, that's true. I believe Jordan's, if I remember right, got open mic night tonight. There in Kokomo.
Yes,
So good luck for that. One of these days, me and you need to get down there for that.
Yeah, I'd like to get down there for that.
Because I love comedy and I'd love to see Jordan up on stage. So that'd be awesome.
Glenn wants to know if Travis Kelce's available. What are you trying to do, Glenn? You want to bring Kelce in the Swift?
Yeah, that's all he wants. He wants Taylor. That's what the hell he wants. You ain't fooling nobody. He's a closet Swiftie.
Jordan said he had a night at 8:00. Yeah, I saw that they were doing that every week there now on Thursday night. So I would like to get down there sometime and check it out. I like watching live comedy. It'd be cool to see some guys I know. Glenn said, "Laugh my ass off, you know it." Glenn just wants to be sitting up there in the suite with Taylor Swift and President Hadley.
Yep,
because Hadley told us Sunday he was at the Super Bowl with Taylor.
That's what he said, but he said a lot of things too. He said the third time he slammed Andre the Giant, he killed him. So so he knows with him, with Hadley. Hadley's nuts.
He's supposed to be sending us pictures.
That's what he said. Send us pictures.
But he did say it might take him a while to find the pictures.
he did say that. So I'm not holding my breath.
That dude's hilarious. Man, he's hilarious. The 23rd. We'll be at the 23rd. Is that when we're going to be at Comic-Con?
Yes. 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Yeah. Jordan, I would, but we'll be at Comic-Con that weekend with WCWO doing wrestling shows. So we might have to we either have to maybe come on a Thursday or maybe the next showcase.
Yeah, we'll be at
but that showcase night will be at the Indiana Comic-Con.
Yep. Jordan, you need to come down to Muncie. That would be down, I guess. To Muncie on the 30th of, if you're available, the 30th of March for that big DCCW show with Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, you could always jump on with us for a little bit if you wanted to
do some commentary. Yeah. Hell, we probably get you in the Rumble. There's a big Rumble. We probably get you in the ring. We'll get in the ring. Mike King probably let you in the ring, get thrown around.
If Jordan comes to get to the ring, you gotta get in the Rumble.
No, nobody said anything about me getting. If I'll do a one-on-one, hell with my wife. I'll do a one-on-one with Seiko. I'm gonna pin his ass. Cinco, whatever his name is. Well, he's in trouble. Do you see that? Well, not him. Referee Cody. The conspiracy theory's out today. I seen online that they're calling him out about the conspiracy and him helping that lady wrestler. So big conspiracy.
Bill said, "No, I'm gonna stay a fan of commentator podcast.
Yeah, come do some commentary with us."
Yeah, man. All right. Well, did you have anything else for today? That was all the picks I had.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Of course, check out our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room. We have over 100 full independent wrestling shows on there now.
Yep.
Most of them are separated into single matches. I have a couple shows I'm still working on getting the matches separated or broken down to single matches. This Saturday, WCWO has an event in Lebanon at the National Guard Armory. Come check that out. We'll be there. Don't know if we'll be live because internet issue. I'm gonna say we probably won't be live. Probably have to air it later.
Yeah, being in an armory, I doubt it.
Because if it's anything like the other armory we've been at, they won't let us use their internet. We got next weekend. We're off, aren't we?
Well, I think we're gonna be off next couple weekends unless we do
next couple.
Yeah, the 9th, the 16th. We'll be everything. Then we're gonna be real busy.
I was a week ahead of myself.
Unless we maybe do a watch along with that UFC on the 9th.
I was a week ahead of myself. For some reason, I don't know. I was up a week. But yeah, and then we got the Comic-Con 23rd, 24th, and then Bearcat Rumble.
22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, Bearcat Rumble March 30th here in Muncie, featuring Rob Van Dam.
Then we got Warrior Pro on the 31st.
Yep. Warrior Pro on the 31st. It's going to be a busy month. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all Gonzo Sports Room. We appreciate everybody watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow right around 3 o'clock.